If you thought Hollywood heartbreaks were predictable, think again, because what just unfolded between Aaron Pierre and Teyana Taylor isn't just a breakup story. It's a cinematic betrayal followed by the most savage red carpet revenge we've seen in years. This wasn't a quiet split, this wasn't "we're still friends." This was a love story that had the internet planning wedding hashtags in November, only for it to implode in December, and then explode at the Golden Globes in January. And what Teyana did that night? Nobody saw it coming. 1 minute she's calling this man her apple pie on national television. The next minute, Page 6 drops the bomb. It's over. Done. Finished. Sources whispering about scheduling conflicts. Insiders hinting at tension. Fans screaming that something felt off. But the real shock wasn't the breakup, or it was the timing. Because just days after headlines screamed that Aaron Pierre allegedly walked away, Teyana Taylor walked onto the Golden Globe stage, and she didn't just attend, she won. Cameras caught her shaking, crying, clutching that trophy like it was destiny. And the speech? The speech felt personal, calculated, surgical. She talked about softness not being weakness. She talked about space, the same thing insiders claim she begged for in that relationship. And here's the part that made the internet spiral. Aaron was nowhere in sight. No red carpet support, no congratulatory post, no subtle emoji, just silence. And in Hollywood, silence is louder than shade. But that's not even the wildest part. Because behind the scenes, there are alleged leaked messages, industry whispers, and one private confrontation that might explain why this breakup detonated right before her biggest career moment. Was it jealousy? Was it timing? Was it something far messier? Because sources are claiming that what happened between November and the Golden Globes was not amicable. It was explosive. And what Teyana did after being dumped? Unthinkable. The love story looked airtight. That's what makes the collapse so violent. When Teyana Taylor stepped out with Aaron Pierre early last year, it wasn't subtle, it wasn't soft launch energy. It was red carpet hand-holding, camera-ready chemistry, synchronized smiles that felt almost scripted. They weren't hiding, they were glowing. Insiders described it as intense from the jump. One stylist allegedly told a gossip page, "They moved like they had something to prove." And maybe they did. Because Teyana had just closed a painful chapter. Divorce headlines, public speculation, people dissecting her past marriage like it was a Netflix documentary. She didn't just step back into dating, she cannonballed into it with a man who was suddenly Hollywood's rising leading force. Aaron wasn't random, he was ascending. Big franchise energy, industry buzz, studio executives whispering about the next breakout. The kind of trajectory that changes everything. And Teyana? She looked happy, radiant, laughing in interviews, calling him affectionate nicknames. At one point, she referred to him as her apple pie on daytime television, and that clip aged like gasoline. Because when someone uses language that soft, that intimate, that public, they're invested. By summer, they were inseparable at premieres. Private birthday surprises, coordinated outfits, viral slow-motion red carpet edits that had TikTok in a chokehold. Fans weren't just shipping, they were convinced. But behind that glossy exterior, whispers were already forming. A production assistant allegedly claimed that Aaron had been hesitant about oversharing, that he preferred privacy, that he wasn't comfortable with how public the relationship became so quickly. Meanwhile, someone from Teyana's extended circle allegedly said she believed in owning the narrative. She didn't want secret love. She wanted visible love. Visible versus private. That difference sounds small. It isn't. Then November happened. Teyana appeared on a daytime talk show, smiling, relaxed, casually dropping that now infamous nickname again. Apple pie. The internet melted. But insiders claim that same week, tension was brewing. One anonymous source alleged that a disagreement about award season schedules triggered a massive argument. Not cheating, not scandal, just priority. Because here's what people forget. Award season is war. Press tours, campaign dinners, private screenings. If both partners are ambitious and rising, calendars collide. According to a leaked group chat, screenshot circulating in industry forums, Aaron allegedly expressed concern that the relationship was becoming part of the campaign narrative. Campaign narrative. Translation: he didn't want romance overshadowing career. Teyana allegedly saw it differently. She believed love amplified visibility. And then, December arrived. The silence was surgical. No couple posts, no joint appearances, no casual Instagram stories in the same room. Fans noticed immediately. Comment sections turned investigative. Where's Aaron? Why isn't he at her screening? Why did she unfollow that stylist? Unfollow rumors escalated. Screenshots flew. Then Page 6 dropped the headline that detonated everything: the split. Amicable. That word again. The most overused word in celebrity breakups. But according to a source who allegedly attended a private industry dinner days before the news broke, it was anything but calm. The source claimed there was a tense exchange in a side room after a scheduling disagreement turned personal. He told her he needed space, the insider allegedly said. She said she already made space. Space. That word keeps resurfacing. And then came the alleged text leak. A screenshot, blurry but legible enough to trend, showed a message reading, "I can't compete with the spotlight. I need peace." No confirmation it was him, no denial either. The internet interpreted it as a breakup initiated by him. Dumped. That word trended within hours. And here's where it turns cinematic. Because days after being labelled the one who got dumped, Teyana walked into the Golden Globes, not fragile, not hiding, radiant, nominated for Best Supporting Actress for her role in one battle after another. Heavy competition, industry giants in her category. The cameras loved her, but insiders say something electric was in the air. A makeup artist allegedly told a blogger she was calm, too calm, like someone who already decided something, and then her name was called, Teyana Taylor. The room erupted. She stood slowly, hands shaking, tears forming, and as she walked to that stage, viewers at home were screaming. Because timing in Hollywood is rarely accidental. Dumped in December, Golden Globe winner in January. And Aaron? Not in the audience, not in the speech, not in the Instagram caption afterward. Silence. The internet immediately reframed the narrative. He fumbled. She leveled up. Revenge era activated. But here's the part nobody talks about. Sources claim he wasn't invited. Allegedly, after the split, she made it clear she would not be walking red carpets with someone who questioned her shine. If that's true, this wasn't passive revenge. This was strategic repositioning. And what happened backstage after she won? That's where things allegedly got explosive, because someone claims there was a phone call. And it didn't end well. The win wasn't the climax. It was the trigger. Backstage at the Golden Globes. According to an alleged production runner who spoke anonymously to a gossip account, Teyana didn't immediately celebrate. She stepped away. Phone in hand. Expression unreadable. And that's when the alleged call happened. The rumor circulating through entertainment group chats claims Aaron tried to reach her minutes after her name was announced. Not publicly. Privately. No congratulatory post. No tweet. Just a direct call. The runner claims she overheard fragments, not full sentences, just sharp tones, quick pacing, and one phrase repeated twice. You chose this. What this means depends on who you ask. One insider claims Aaron believed the relationship was being used to amplify her campaign momentum. Another claims Teyana believed he distanced himself at the exact moment she needed emotional stability most. Either way, the timing is lethal. Dumped days before her biggest career moment, and then she wins. Cameras capture tears, gratitude, power. But backstage? Allegedly tension thick enough to cut. The phone call reportedly ended abruptly. No dramatic screaming, just a clipped goodbye. And here's where it turns cinematic. Minutes later, she returned to the press line, composed, smiling, answering questions about perseverance, growth, and softness. Softness. That word again. When asked about her journey over the past year, she reportedly paused before saying, "Sometimes space makes you stronger." Space. The internet caught it instantly. Clips went viral under captions like, "That was for him." And Aaron? Radio silence. No Instagram story. No congratulations. Not even a neutral PR-approved comment. Which is strange in Hollywood. Because even exes often post polite applause when awards are involved. Silence reads as statement. Then the alleged DMs surfaced. A screenshot from a verified gossip account showed what looked like a message from someone claiming to be in Aaron's circle. She made it about her campaign. He didn't want to be a prop. Prop. That word ignited another fire. Was the relationship authentic? Or was it strategically visible? Fans split instantly. One side insisted the chemistry was real. The other claimed it always felt promotional. Then came the twist no one predicted. A stylist who had dressed Teyana earlier in the year liked a tweet that read, "Men love powerful women until they have to share the spotlight." Just a like. But likes in Hollywood are loaded. The screenshot trended. Within hours, TikTok detectives began piecing together timelines of interviews where Aaron seemed reserved when asked about the relationship. Clips resurfaced where he dodged personal questions, where he redirected conversations back to work, where he emphasized privacy. Suddenly, those moments looked different. And then the alleged confrontation rumor escalated. A popular industry podcast claimed there was a heated exchange at a private pre-Globes dinner days before the split went public. According to their source, Aaron allegedly expressed frustration about feeling secondary during award season conversations. Secondary. That word stung, because Teyana's nomination was historic for her career pivot. Actress, not just singer. Respected. Validated. Was he threatened? Or was he protecting his own trajectory? Hollywood is ruthless about optics. In two rising stars, dating can amplify both, or destabilize one. Then came the meltdown narrative. A close friend of Teyana reportedly confided to someone that she cried harder over the betrayal than the breakup. Betrayal suggests more than scheduling conflicts. Was it emotional distance? Was it disagreement about public image? Was it something else entirely? No proof, but speculation spreads faster than facts. Meanwhile, social media chaos intensified. Fans flooded Aaron's comments demanding congratulations. Some accused him of fumbling a queen, others defended his privacy. Hashtags trended comparing apple pie to Golden Globe winner. The contrast was brutal. From affectionate nickname to independent icon in 60 days. And then the most explosive rumor yet dropped. See, an alleged text exchange leaked between two publicists discussing timing optics. The message read, "Break before the Globes, avoid narrative hijack. If authentic, that implies the split wasn't emotional, it was strategic. Prevent the relationship from overshadowing the award campaign. Or prevent the award from overshadowing the relationship. Either interpretation is messy, because if timing was engineered, then someone calculated heartbreak. And that changes everything." Teyana's next move made the internet spiral again. Instead of posting a generic gratitude caption, she wrote, "No distractions, just destiny." 3 words. Nuclear impact. No distractions. The implication felt pointed. And Aaron still hadn't spoken publicly, which left a vacuum. And vacuums online get filled with theories. Some claim he didn't expect her to win. Others claim he knew she would. And didn't want to stand beside a moment that might eclipse his own rising narrative. Ego versus alignment. Love versus spotlight. And then a new twist surfaced. An anonymous source told a culture blog that Aaron allegedly felt the relationship was moving faster publicly than privately. Translation? public intimacy without private foundation. If that's true, the breakup wasn't about jealousy. It was about pace. But pace doesn't explain the alleged phone call tension. It doesn't explain silence. And it doesn't explain why insiders are whispering that this story isn't finished. Because late last night, a cryptic tweet from someone close to the situation read, "Golden nights reveal hidden truths. No names, no tags, but the timing was surgical. And now Hollywood is watching closely. Because if another leak drops, if either side breaks silence, if that alleged backstage phone call recording surfaces, this stops being a breakup narrative. It becomes a full-blown Hollywood fracture, and someone is threatening to talk. The threat to talk didn't stay quiet. By the next afternoon, industry Twitter was buzzing about a recording. Not confirmed, not posted, just whispered about in private DMs between bloggers and podcast hosts, who suddenly went from vague to very specific. Allegedly, someone had audio from that Golden Globes night, not a full meltdown, not screaming, but enough tension to shift the narrative permanently. One podcast host hinted that the recording captured a calm but cutting exchange, a voice allegedly saying, "You made me feel small," another voice responding, "I asked for space, not silence." Small. Silence. Those words hit differently when stacked next to no distractions, just destiny. If the recording is real, it confirms what fans are already suspecting, that this wasn't mutual drifting apart. This was collision. Meanwhile, Teyana didn't slow down. The morning after the Globes, she appeared at a high-profile industry brunch, glowing like someone who had just shed 200 pounds of emotional weight. She laughed. She posed. She networked. Insiders claimed she looked untouchable. And that word, untouchable, can bruise an ego. Because Aaron was reportedly nowhere near the brunch circuit. No paparazzi shots. No subtle sightings. Just absence. Then the first indirect response finally came. Aaron posted a black and white photo with a caption that read, "Growth requires detachment." Detachment. The internet went feral. See, fans immediately connected it to the breakup, to the Golden Globes, to the alleged backstage tension. Comment sections turned into courtroom debates. Some accused him of minimizing her moment. Others insisted he was reclaiming peace. But the timing? Ruthless. Then came the most explosive twist yet. A publicist allegedly slipped. During a live interview about award season strategy, they referred to navigating personal headlines during campaign pushes. Personal headlines. That phrasing wasn't random. It implied the breakup wasn't an accident. It was a narrative element to manage. And if it was managed, who pulled the trigger? Was Aaron protecting his brand? Was Teyana protecting hers? Or did both sides realize too late that two rising trajectories were colliding too loudly? The speculation escalated into meltdown territory when a fashion editor tweeted, "Some men love powerful women until award season starts." That tweet hit 2 million views in hours. Celebrities started subtly reacting. A singer posted, "If he can't celebrate you, he can't stay." A producer wrote, "Success reveals insecurity." Even without names, the message was clear. Team Teyana was forming. And then the alleged betrayal narrative took center stage. A source claiming to be close to Teyana told a culture blog that she felt blindsided by the timing of the breakup announcement. Not the breakup, the announcement, the source allegedly clarified, meaning she may have known it was ending, but not when it would go public. If that's true, the narrative shifts again. Was the leak coordinated? Was Page 6 tipped strategically? Did someone want the split headline to land before the Globes to control optics? If heartbreak was scheduled, that's cold, and the internet smells calculation. Then the most dramatic rumor yet surfaced. Someone claimed that Aaron allegedly expressed concern about becoming Teyana's +1 during award season. +1. That word detonated like dynamite. Because she was the nominee. She was the one fighting for validation in a new lane. If he felt secondary during her historic moment, that suggests insecurity. But if he genuinely wanted privacy while she thrived in visibility, that suggests misalignment. Either way, it's combustible. Then came the clip that sent TikTok into hysteria. Footage from months earlier where Aaron is asked about love and responds, "Timing is everything." Timing. The irony wrote itself. Because the timing of this breakup feels almost cinematic. Dumped in December, Golden Globe winner in January, speech about softness and space, caption about destiny, no public congratulations, cryptic detachment post. If this were a movie, critics would call it heavy-handed. But in Hollywood, heavy-handed becomes headline. And now insiders are whispering something even more dramatic, that the alleged recording might leak. If it does, it won't just clarify, it will polarize. Because hearing tone changes everything. Hearing who pauses, hearing who sounds wounded, hearing who sounds resolved. And if that audio confirms tension about spotlight, validation, or ego, this breakup stops being romantic. It becomes reputational. Meanwhile, Teyana is reportedly leaning fully into her revenge era. Meetings for Oscar campaigns, new film scripts, fashion collaborations. Every move screams momentum. And momentum is the loudest answer to heartbreak. Aaron, on the other hand, is reportedly retreating into work mode. Private, focused, detached. Two trajectories diverging in real time. The internet has already chosen a villain. But real life rarely fits that cleanly. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes two ambitious people love each other and still can't coexist under the same spotlight. But Hollywood doesn't reward nuance. It rewards narrative. And the current narrative is savage. He dumped her. She won a Golden Globe. And she didn't look back. But if that recording leaks, if either of them decides to speak candidly, if a friend drops one more cryptic hint, this story won't end as a glow-up tale. It will end as a full-blown Hollywood reckoning. And right now, someone is holding receipts. The question isn't whether more will surface, it's when. Because award season isn't over. And neither is this saga. If you think this was just a breakup, you weren't paying attention. This was timing. This was optics. This was ego, ambition, spotlight, and heartbreak colliding on the biggest stage in Hollywood. 1 minute, she's someone's apple pie. The next minute, she's holding a Golden Globe while the man who allegedly walked away is nowhere to be found. And whether you believe he fumbled, or you think two ambitious stars simply outgrew each other, one thing is undeniable. The timing was cinematic. But here's what really matters. Award season isn't over. Oscar campaigns are heating up, interviews are coming, press junkets are scheduled, and all it takes is one honest answer, one subtle comment, one leaked recording to flip this entire narrative upside down. So don't blink. Don't scroll past this thinking it's done, because in Hollywood, silence never lasts. If you're Team Teyana and think she turned heartbreak into history, hit like right now. If you think Aaron's side hasn't been told yet, drop that in the comments. And if you want the real tea, the receipts, the leaks, the behind-the-scenes shifts that blogs won't connect, you need to subscribe immediately. Because when that next clip drops, when that next interview goes viral, when someone finally says too much, you do not want to be catching up after the explosion. Stay locked in.